The fall of Bill number 10 of 2019 seems to have left a trail dent, with some citizens mourning and others celebrating its downfall. A Livingstone-based clergy, Reverend Musonda, is among those who feel the fall of Bill-10 is a missed opportunity to iron out constitutional lacunas. Reverend Musonda, who was speaking during a media briefing in Livingstone, described the failure of opposition MPs to debate on Bill-10 as unpatriotic.
That's why we have members of parliament who were supposed to debate on these issues. And usually, because the bill was going to go to parliament, the first reading, second reading, and probably a third reading. During that period, I had an opportunity to debate on these issues, and it was through debating that some of these contentious issues were going to be sorted out. If you look at some of the submissions that were done, I see like the ones that Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia did, in their submissions, they clearly spelled out, and they were against some of those clauses, which we believe as a church, we were not going to support. But throwing the baby with the water is what is painful. Members of parliament should have stayed in parliament, debate these issues, and if it meant refining that Bill 10, it was going to give us a better constitution.
However, this reporter asked him on why the church is deeply divided when it comes to interpretation of various national matters, such as the divergent views seen when it came to Bill 10.
I believe the most important thing is whenever we have an issue that borders on national interest, as a church, we must come together, especially the church mother bodies, because we have high ranking in many of these mother bodies. There is a need to come together and have a round table meeting where we can exchange views, share ideas, so that at the end of the day, from those that are in that meeting can say, okay, now we have these representatives who are going to represent the church and speak on behalf of the church.
And Zambians for Unity, Peace and Development ZUPED Vice President Ronnie Jere equally feels that Bill-10 provided a good platform for spearheading progressive issues such as women representation in parliament.
Now that Bill-10 has collapsed, the Zambian people need answers on how the following issues will be sorted out. One, how is the Public Order Act, which has not been amended since 1959, going to be implemented? Especially that we are heading towards elections. The application of the Public Order Act has received a lot of criticism, especially from the opposition political parties in the previous elections. We foresee a lot of petitions, unnecessary petitions, because the Public Order Act has not been dealt with. Number two, the issue of delimitation of constituencies. We all know that we have been having a problem with some members of parliament who claim that they haven't been effective in servicing their constituencies because the constituencies were too vast and needed to be delimited.
With Speaker of National Assembly Patrick Matibini earlier this week ruling that Bill-10 is now dead and buried despite further pushes by some members of parliament to revisit the voting process. It is in this vein that all supporters of Bill-10 hope for the best in the next new parliament sitting in 2021. Muya Mukumbota, Movie TV News, Livingstone.